Laura, you don't have to worry about a Shaniqua. You need to worry about a Billy or a John. Okay? You need to worry about a Tom or Stephen or Junior. See, those are the names that you need to be worried about crossing you, sweetheart. Because as history has stated, y'all take each other out when it comes to political violence. And y'all take us out at the same time. So instead of worrying about Shaniqua, sweetheart, I think you've watched too many gangster movies. You need to actually stop watching Set It Off, because you sound stupid. Stop watching Boys in the Hood, New Jack City, Don't Be a Menace. Stop watching that shit, because you need to worry about your own. The call is coming from inside the house. Pick up the fucking phone. Because most Shaniquas I know, baby, they got 401ks. They're serving in the military. They have families. They work in banks. They not worried about a girl that looks like she came out of a movie from Saw, or The Wicked Witch of the West, or even the movie The Clown. You need to worry about your face dropping before you hit 35. And if I'm not mistaken, you're 32. I'm about to be 40. That racism is draining you dry, sweetheart, just like a sun-dried tomato.
One of the things I do want to point out that's not been laid out that honestly hurts my heart is when I saw the no votes, there were only 2 Caucasians. For the most part, the only people that voted no were people of color, because the rhetoric that Charlie Kirk continuously put out there was rhetoric that specifically targeted people of color. And so it is unfortunate that even our colleagues could not see how harmful his rhetoric was, specifically to us.
Now, I know she's not calling nobody ghetto. What's ghetto is that Charlie Kirk went around trying to spread harmful rhetoric about black people, but yet he lost his life to one of his own. Now look at that. That's nasty work. All that time talking about black on black crime, but yet it was little Tyler Robinson that took him out. And it's always a white T person to take out another white T person. Every single time. So miss me with this nonsense. When y'all don't like something, you unalive it. Okay? If he would have spent... Charlie Kirk would have been alive if he would have went to a HBCU. Alright? He would have been safer around the blacks. Okay? He wasn't even safe in freaking Utah, of all places. Miss me with this nonsense. And then y'all talk about ghetto. Y'all literally did... White men literally did a white men fight back rally. Okay, fight back against who? Other whites? Because it wasn't us. The freaking Utah governor said he spent 33 hours praying that it wasn't one of them. Why? You already knew it was going to be one of y'all. It was not going to be an immigrant. It's not going to be a black person. Okay? The biggest threat to a white person is another white person, not a black person. Okay? Look at all the political white leaders. Look who took them out. It wasn't black people. All right? So miss me with this ghetto nonsense. The most ghetto person in America is not black. Just want to let you know.
Laura Loomer is comfortable saying these things about Jasmine Crocket because there are no consequences for being anti-black. And this is one of the most trusted advisors of the President of the United States right now, openly calling a sitting congresswoman a ghetto black. Well, then when she was called out by people like Jamel Hill, she doubles down. Insanity. If Jasmine Crocket was to say something like this about Laura Loomer, who's a Jewish woman, the ADL would have put out about 15 damn statements calling this anti-Semitic. Congress would have passed a resolution condemning her and anti-Semitic hate. It's fucking ridiculous, bro. We don't take any blackness serious.
Honey, I know Laura Loomer made the Karens proud. And if you don't know what I'm talking about this, where this chick literally tweets, "It hurts my heart that we have ghetto black, the B word, who hates Americans serving in Congress." Honey, that was a tweet. And if that is not a sigh of relief where they can now say this in public without fear of any consequences. Honey, they ain't worried about losing no jobs, no contracts. They are living it up right now. And mind you, Jasmine Crocket was literally pointing out how her Democratic, supposedly allies, all but 2 YTs voted for the holiday for that man. That's all she was doing. That's all she was talking about. And it triggered that response out of Miss Laura Loomer. Honey, and now you know the Karens went out for coffee today. After they dropped the babies off, they went out for coffee because that's how they get their power. race, and being 304s. And they want to project that onto black women. And let me tell you what I say black women simply because that is what's culturally accepted right now. I have never liked that because it limits us. It limits us to how they see themselves, a race, and being 304s. The projection.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no.
Thank you for this comment, and my take on it is thus. Now, I know that Laura lose 2 elections. Luma is not talking about Jasmine Crocket when she looks like a Sims character that somebody forgot to finish customizing. I know that she's not talking about Jasmine Crocket when she looks like a side character in Shrek that never made the final cut. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. She did make the final cut. It is definitely giving Doris. Now, this nasty comment that you put right here, this racist, dehumanizing othering that you did right here, this is exactly the kind of rhetoric that the far right loves to run on, because what they like to do is to use racist stereotypes to belittle black women in power so that you don't actually have to front the truth that they're actually speaking. It's the oldest trick in the playbook, and it is tired. So as you promenade around calling Jasmine names, I just want you to remember that you look exactly like policy failure embodied. That you are a walking campaign poster for what happens when you try everything and nothing works for you. And the real gag of the situation is that you are trying to degrade the woman who's doing the job that you keep failing to get. Damn! So you want to call Jasmine ghetto? No. What's ghetto is you building an entire career out of bigotry while losing every campaign that you have ever touched and believing that you still have some merit in the political world while the American people look at you and laugh like the failed audition tape that you are. What's ghetto is you losing 2 elections back to back and still begging for Trump to notice you. But Laura, you don't have to work that hard to get his attention. You are already his type, overinflated, overinjected, and overrated. We all see you. And we still don't give a damn.
I find it quite humorous when a Jewish woman is calling a black woman a ghetto bee. Like, darling, you're the original ghetto girls. Historically speaking, I mean, if she knows anything about European history, she panders, she plays into racial division, grew up in a broken home with domestic violence, she has daddy issues, allegedly she's diagnosed with something and she's not taking the proper medication, allegedly that results into having combative relationships. Essentially, she's a glizzy glazer looking for Republican worshippers.
Laura Loomer said, I hate that we have ghetto hate America working in Congress. And these are her remarks to fucking Jasmine Crocket. Laura Loomer called her a ghetto. Now, when y'all ready to come slap this hoe, let me know. This is the language y'all want to have, though. Y'all talk about hate speech. Y'all talk about all of this other shit when they continuously bash black people without any type of fucking filter. Not even the man, motherfuckers done got called animals recently. You know what I'm saying? I mean, make this shit make sense, bro.
Sorry to cut you guys, that video will continue shortly and I beg you to watch that woman. She's got a lot of points. Now let's just talk about the controversy surrounding this Laura Loomer. I don't even need to repeat what she said. You've heard it, guys, but let me be clear. You know, taking shots at others like that is cowardly. What that woman posted isn't just criticism. It's a unique form of prejudice that black people, especially black women, black American women face, where racism and misogyny are fused together. The slash she used against Jasmine Crocket taps into centuries of harmful stereotypes that black women are loud, ghetto, undeserving of respect, you name it. Now imagine someone who spends time with the president using that type of language toward a black woman and posting it publicly on X. What message does that send? What is she trying to tell her community? That isn't okay to, you know, disrespect black people, black women. That is the kind of behavior that they are normalizing, even made it into a trend without facing consequences. They know they will not face consequences. It's a kind of silent messaging where you can tell someone hates a group of people without even ever explicitly saying it. And unfortunately, this is exactly what is happening here. Let's continue watching, exploring these clips, and go ahead, drop your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'll come back at the end of this video to give my own final thoughts. Let's continue watching.
Fucking makes sense. All Jasmine Crocket stated was that it hurts her heart that only 2 Caucasians voted no. Because at the end of the fucking day, when it's all said and done, you're working with people who's supposed to understand that racism still does exist in their culture. And that it harms you as a black woman, right? But to see that your colleagues aren't even willing to even stand up for you, willing to even vote like, yeah, that shit wasn't okay, willing to even speak out for you, that speaks volumes. Now we have to understand that as a group, we're going to have to push these goofy motherfuckers to the side. Whenever y'all ready to have that fucking discussion, we could do this shit today. Today. At this point, no insults for MLK when I make this statement. But we asked for equality. We didn't ask to be combined with a group of goofy motherfuckers who want to sit and act like we are the most incompetent people ever when they're the most incompetent fucking race. Let's make this shit make sense. Y'all haven't created shit. Y'all don't know shit. And the best advancement that they're having right now, to the minimum, is tech. And that's only because they won't even allow us to reach the pinnacles or broadcast the pinnacles that we are capable to reach. And to my people, we have to pay attention to wake the fuck up. As much as y'all want to make it seem like people are conspiracy theorists or just going on rampage or like it's nothing that y'all can do about it. Y'all have kids to live for. Nieces and nephews fucking live for. Sons to live for. Brothers and sisters to live for. Like, something has to fucking give. And for Laura Loomer to even think that she could ever step to Miss Crocket in the way that she just tried to, she didn't got it all misconstrued. Because the same way y'all got Charlie's back, we got hers. We got hers. Period. You get what I'm saying? Y'all ass around here be tripping. Like, they be really, really tripping. And for her to do that was mad disrespect because Jasmine said nothing wrong. And that just shows you. That shows you, y'all, that the veil is open. Your eyes need to be open and y'all need to eat this shit up. Eat it up. And recognize where we are today as a fucking society. And that's just what it is.
See, the problem is that Laura Loomer thought that using ghetto black was going to do something. Like that was going to make somebody feel a certain type of way. No. Y'all have been using those same played out old ass negative stereotypes for decades now. But I can guarantee you one thing. Jasmine Crocket is more educated than Laura Loomer will ever be. More sophisticated, more class, more elegance, more grace than Laura Loomer has ever had in her whole life. She'd be in the wrong to turn around and call you some shit, right? Get real. That shit's played out and we don't care.
And on today's episode of Love and Hip Hop Politic Edition, hey guys, it's your girl Gentray Hay, and this woman here name is Laura Loomer, and she's been having an ongoing beef with Jasmine Crocket, and it's getting a little spicy, okay? Real spicy if you ask me. They have a ongoing beef, and you know, nowadays politics is just clapbacks, okay? We might as well add a rap beat to it because it's getting nuts. Let me tell you what she said in her recent tweets, basically aiming at Jasmine Crocket. Y'all go ahead and pause and read, but it basically says, Jasmine, homeboys and homegirls are big mad. I called her what she is, ghetto. I guess I'm finna watch my back. God forbid Shaniqua pops a cap in my beep. You feel me? Why these be trifling? Girl, if you finna play with me, you best be ready for the truth. I be spitting on your weave. I can spit mad bars, Jasmine. Baby girl don't like the taste of her own medicine. You feel me? Let me ask you a question. Is a black job when I expose your boss for being a racist hood rat who enjoys promoting political violence? I'ma ask you this question. If you have tips around Jasmine and her staff, send them here.
You hate us because you ain't us. Because I'm about to be 41. I'm a smooth 10 years older than Miss Laura Loomer. I don't like to talk about looks, but Laura Loomer is 31 years old. Kamala Harris is 59 years old. Letitia James is 65. Fannie Willis is 52. Laura Loomer is a 31-year-old college dropout who has never held political office and is now rumored to be with Donald Trump. But she wants you to believe that Kamala Harris, Letitia James, and Fannie Willis are DEI hires, despite being highly accomplished, successful, educated Black women who happen to be almost twice her age. Well, yeah, it makes sense why she has so much ire for them when you look at Laura Loomer's face and her resume. This supreme version of whiteness with botulism and filler all up in her face so she looks like Jigsaw, would you like to play a game, doesn't think you should be able to make choices about your body and thinks that Black people are DEI hires. I don't like to talk about looks, but we have to talk about Laura Loomer's looks because this is not the face of someone who likes herself. It becomes increasingly clear why she hates Black people so much. It's because she hates herself.
Period. Before we wrap up this video, I want to take a moment to emphasize something important. I deliberately included a clip of what Jasmine Crocket actually said because context matters. And let me be clear, what Jasmine said in no way deserved the kind of insults and attacks she received from this bloomer. Yeah, none of it. Not even close. Yet here we are witnessing a situation where a public figure, a Black woman, a sitting congresswoman is subjected to open and blatant disrespect. Do people even realize that the whole world is watching America? We are not just looking, we are paying attention. The world sees what is happening, you know, the unfairness, the double standards, the way certain people feel entitled to demean others based on race and gender. And when someone like whatever, who isn't just any person but a prominent political figure and an advisor to the president publicly targets a Black woman with slurs, it sends a dangerous message. It tells society that it's acceptable to disrespect Black women, to treat them as though their voices, their dignity and their humanity don't matter. And the fact that this behavior happens without real consequences, that's even more alarming. So I asked myself, what could possibly, motivate someone to make such hateful, degrading comments about a Black woman like Jasmine Crocket? After thinking about it, there's really only one set of words that comes to mind: jealousy, hate, and racism. Those are my thoughts. Those are my views. I mean, like, seriously, what other reasons could there, possibly be to call a fellow woman a public servant? Such offensive names. The audacity alone is staggering. To publicly call a sitting congresswoman the B word, it's not just unprofessional, it's an outright display of disrespect and disdain toward Black women in general. And let's not forget the larger context. This is someone who regularly interacts with powerful people in the highest offices. This isn't a random online troll. This is a person with influence whose words carry weight. Laura, whatever, is not an ordinary person. She, in fact, a president's advisor. Think about that for a moment. This is the same person who once posted bizarre claims. She posted something like alligators will not starve at Alcatraz, something like that, if I remember very well. Yet, in spite of that, she continues to have a platform visibly, and the freedom of she's having the platform, visibility, and the freedom to direct hate at Black women without fear of accountability. And that's the part of the problem. That's part of the problem. When people in positions of influence act in this way, it begins to normalize disrespect. It begins to make it seem acceptable to publicly shame, demean, and verbally assault Black women. And that's exactly what is happening here. It's becoming a trend. It's becoming a trend, a dangerous, toxic trend where attacking Black women is not just tolerated, but almost accepted in certain circles. And let's be honest, this isn't just about Laura. Yeah, it's about the pattern she represents. The world's we see this, and it's happening more and more often. More people want to, more than, what I'm trying to say is we see it, and it's happening more often than people want to admit. Black women are consistently portrayed as loud, ghetto, unworthy of respect, or inherently combative. These stereotypes have been around for centuries, but now when someone with a platform reinforces them publicly, it's being packaged as normal discourse. And make no mistake, what is considered normal he is, deeply troubling. It's a form of cultural and social permission to disrespect black women in ways that are not just harmful but deeply ingrained in historical prejudice. I also want to acknowledge that I understand the reactions from commenters in some of in the clips. People were angry, and honestly, in many ways, she asked for it. When someone like speaks or posts, it doesn't exist in a vacuum. It influences public perception. It sends subtle but clear signals that black women, even those in positions of power and respect, can be dehumanized without consequence. And that is why this matters so much. So as we reflect on this, I want to leave you with a few thoughts. First, what happened here is not just a one-off insult. It's part of a larger pattern of behavior that targets black women. Second, the audacity and visibility of someone in Laura's position normalize this kind of disrespect in ways that are extremely dangerous for society as a whole. And thirdly, it's crucial that we recognize and call out this behavior, because if we don't, it becomes easier to accept it as just another thing online or just politics as usual. It's far more than that. It's a reflection of systemic issue that continues to affect black women every single day. I want to hear from you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you think of this actions? How do you feel about the normalization of this kind of disrespect toward black women? I'll be reading your responses closely, and I promise I'll be back in my next video to share my perspective. And in fact, I'll just respond in the comments. I'll respond. Because these issues matter and they deserve to be discussed openly and honestly. At the end of the day, this isn't just about the insult or one social media post. It's about the bigger picture, the way black women are treated, perceived, and spoken about in public spaces. And until people recognize that, until society stops normalizing this behavior, the cycle will continue. So let's be clear, let's be vigilant, and let's keep calling out injustice whenever we see it. Drop your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'll see you in my next video. Subscribe to this channel if it's your first time to be on this channel. Bye.